I'd again invite you to talk about, from your point of view, where you see the EU fitting in with these local approaches to employment.
But I believe that the Youth Employment Initiative, as well as the Youth Guarantee, can basically only work if we have a very sound cooperation between the EU level and the local level. I also think that a problem like youth unemployment can mostly be tackled on a local level because the local actors really can have a very close relation if they have the abilities and the funds available. The Youth Employment Initiative, as well as the Youth Guarantee, can basically only work if we have a very sound cooperation between the EU level and the local level. We have seen that there are still a lot of challenges and barriers to really implement these policies on the ground. And I think I must also congratulate you to the recommendations that you have laid out. I think one of them is for sure the question of capacity building and administrative abilities. On the local level, I would say in some member states it's even on the national and regional level, but mostly also on the local level. And there we have a little bit of a paradox at the moment from my point of view, because, I would say one of the reasons coming from the European Union, a very rigid austerity policy, capacities in this field have been decreased, or at least they have been stopped to increase. And when we have these challenges, we need administrative abilities. So on the one side, we are restricting these capacities, and on the other side, we are asking them to implement policies and to administer money coming from the European level. So I would say what we need is, of course, a strong cooperation between the local level and the EU level, but we also need to think on the European level about the coherence of the policies that we are implementing.
Cities, local authorities are best placed for fighting unemployment because they're closest to the problem. This is the proximity. National governments are far off, particularly in big states. And the EU as such, I have to repeat it to our UK friends, we don't have a competence, a legal basis for fighting unemployment directly. Yeah? I find it personally a scandal that you have tens of thousands of people who are educated, but they have an education which doesn't fit the requests of the markets. Yeah? Setting up a network of partnerships between schools and business. Yeah? One side is the ones providing education, the other ones are requesting educated people. Isn't that something, wouldn't that be something for a network of cities? Because there, I think, closer collaboration could work very efficiently, much better probably than at a level of nation states.
But I'm also interested in hearing more from an MEP. There's this sort of EU level of things and this very local level of things. Do they know each other exist? Do they have a complementary role? What is and can and should be doing, particularly with a view to the coming legislature?
Yeah, so this is a very good question. And in the British system, our councillors have real executive power now, whereas our MPs you see the House of Commons on TV, they have so little, they have virtually no executive authority. They shout a lot, but unless they're in cabinet government, they have no executive authority. But councillors in the cabinet and so on, they have executive authority. So we have a slightly different system. I know you have a federal system. So the point I was making is that, you know, our MPs need to make a political case for the youth guarantee, but our local government is now more respected and more powerful than it has ever been in the United Kingdom.